Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ginger Gardner, Chair of the Foundation for Women's Cancer, and I'd like to welcome you to Let's Move It, a Move for Her virtual celebration.
I was inspired to do this study because I'm really passionate about health equity and access to high quality cancer care for all. In particular, our study is focusing on finding ways to connect to people and families that may not be connected to care right now, to work to a future where, regardless of a person's race, income, or geography, they can get access to the highest quality care. The research we're doing is designed to address a really important barrier to early detection of cancers, and that's genetic testing for cancer. We know that up to 15% of ovarian and 3% of endometrial cancers are associated with two common genetic conditions: hereditary breast and ovarian cancer syndrome, or HBOC, and Lynch syndrome. Unfortunately, less than 1/2 of the people who have these genetic conditions have been identified. And even when they are identified and they share their test results with their relatives, less than half of those relatives get testing, even though we know those relatives are at a 50% risk of having the genetic mutation themselves. So our study is investigating ways of supporting people with genetic mutations and their family members through education, the opportunity for free genetic counseling and testing, and family genetic navigator support to help see if we can improve communication about genetic testing and genetic conditions within families and improve the rates of family members being tested.
I am a 10-year cancer survivor of granulosal cell tumor ovarian cancer. And one of the things that, I think I could talk about in terms of my diagnosis, it was pretty tumultuous. I found out that I had cancer during the surgery. Initially, I thought it was an ovarian cyst. Everyone thought it was an ovarian cyst after we did the vaginal ultrasound, but discovered during the surgery that I had cancer. One of the things I think that's really important about that is, in terms of it still being an unscreenable cancer, we have to really think about better ways to communicate the diagnosis. I think for me, coming out of anesthesia and tapping me on my shoulder and telling me I had cancer probably wasn't the best way to do it. So I think as we move forward, hopefully in the last decade, we found better, more humane and compassionate ways to convey the diagnosis.
Absolutely. So in my experience and in my reading and even in research, it shows that Black women in particular are actually diagnosed with, more likely to be diagnosed with late stage cancers, more aggressive cancers, and to be diagnosed later. So there's a delay in diagnosis. And once that diagnosis is brought about, the disease is further progressed. So it's harder to treat. There's more morbidity, as in difficulties and things that kind of affect your body, and then more mortality. So they're more likely to actually die from these diseases. And so this makes a big difference in the outcomes. And so what we can all do is, one, improve health equity, make sure that the physicians and clinicians and the researchers doing this work look like the people they're serving and actually understand the humanity of this type of work. And then also, just promoting patient advocacy, which is a lot of what I do with my platform, The Period Doctor. I promote a lot of patient advocacy so that we can engage with our doctors and ask good questions early on. As young as teenagers, we need to start asking these questions and taking an active role in our care.